Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So let's chant Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lita Shivishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatra Satarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we were discussing chapter 10 and we were discussing about Krishna. Arjuna asked Krishna to show his describe about his opulences, and Krishna started saying that I can't describe everything, but I will go through some prominent one. And we have gone through text 19 till text 27. We will continue from text 28. Hare Krishna. So just 1 second. Okay. So please repeat. Ayudhanam aham vajram dhenunam ashmi kama dhuk dhanas chasmi kandarpa tarpanam asmi vasukihi ayodhanam aham vajram dhenunam asmi kamadhuk prajanaschasmi kandarpa tarpanam asmi vasuki. Of the weapons, oh sorry, I think yes, there is one more thing to be there. Okay, now it will get distracted. Okay, yeah, here we are. So, of the weapons, I am Thunderbolt. Among the cows, I am Surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. So Krishna is explaining again, going through more details about this. And even, so as we understood earlier, so Krishna is actually, he is represented by the prominent of the category. Any category we take, the prominent one is actually the representation of Krishna. Right. So the weapons is Krishna is Thunderbolt, so is a Vajra, right? And then the topmost cows are Surabhi cows, who are found in Vrindavan, right? And then it being said that Nanda Maharaj has Surabhi cows as well. So those Surabhi cows, they used to give milk for Krishna. And the cause of procreation, he is a Kandarpa or Cupid, and from the serpent he is Vasuki. So this is again a description. Prabhupada says in the purport, the thunderbolt, indeed a mighty weapon, represents Krishna's power. In Krishna Loka, in the spiritual sky, there are cows which can be milked at any time. So in this world, a cow cannot be milked any time. They have specific time in the morning and in the evening. You need to milk them. But in spiritual sky, the cows can be milked at any time, and they give us unlimited. Actually, they give us unlimited milk. So they say, as they give as much as milk one likes. So of course, such cow do not exist in material world, but there is a mention them in Krishna Loka. So the Lord keeps many such cows which are called as Surabhi. And it is stated that the Lord engaged in herding the Surabhi cows. Kandarpa is the Cupid who is a sex desire for presenting God's son. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representative of Krishna. And sometimes sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sex do not represent Krishna. So Krishna says in earlier that Aham Kamosmi. So it doesn't mean that Krishna is Kama. Krishna is in that sense. Here Prabhupada explains that when we engage in this for begetting a devotee child, that or for religious things, that calls Krishna. It's not illegal or illicit sex is not Krishna. And here Prabhupada mentions as well. But sex for generation of good children is called Kandarpa, and they represent Krishna. So we see there are sanskaras goes actually. So before getting a lady pregnant, even there are sanskaras goes over there, right? From the beginning of that until the end of life, right? So that's in sanskaric way that can be representative of Krishna's Kandarpa. Okay, text 29. Anantas Chasmi Naganam Varuno Yadasham Aham Pitranam Aryama Chasmi Yamaha Samyamtam Aham Anantas Chasmi Naganam Varuno Yadasam Aham Pitrunam Haryamam Chasmi Yamaha Samyamatam Aham. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. And of the departed ancestors, I am Aryama. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the Lord of Death. So the Anantas, so Anantas are the snakes. Actually, they have multi-hooded, right? We see a snake, but they are single-hooded. But the Nagas, they are actually have many multi-hooded. And of those, Anantashesh or Lord Balrama is actually what that one. Krishna represent that. And among the aquatic, even in the aquatic, there's a god for the aquatic, and that is called Varuna. So Krishna represents Varuna. And of departed ancestors, Krishna is Aryama, and from dispensers, he is actually Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. So Prabhupada explains here as well, very briefly about this of whole things. So among the many who did Naga serpent, Ananta is the greatest and is the demigod Varuna among the aquatics. So they both represent Krishna. So if you see, Anantas also is a representation of Lord Balrama, and it's also Shastra says Krishna and Balram, they are actually both are same, just have a different bodily color change. Right. So Krishna and Balram are actually same. Just one is blackish and one is white, or can say modern gold. Right. That's Krishna takes avatar as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is also a planet, or you can say as Krishna Syama Sundar and Balram is white. Right. So he's like cloudy that way, right? Shining clouds. So there is also a planet of Pitas, ancestors, presided over by Aryama, who represent Krishna. And there are many living entities who give punishment to the miscreants, and among them, Yama is the chief, and Yama is Krishna represent that. So Yama is situated in the planet near this earthly planet, and after death, those who are very sinful are taken there, and Yama arranges different kinds of punishment for them. I think when we are going through the Bhagavatam, fifth canto, the last chapter of fifth canto describes about the whole hellish planets and how what are the activities we do and which hell we goes, right? All this being explained there in the Bhagavatam in more detail. So again, the point is all the categories, and the chief is the representative of Krishna, or Krishna represent that the chief of those. Okay, let's see 30, text 30. Prahaladas Chasmi Daityanam
Daityanam
Kalah
Kala
Kalayatam
Kalayatam
Aham
Aham
Mruganam
Mruganam
Cha
Cha
Mrugendro
Mrugendro
Aham
Aham
Vainates
Vainate
Cha
Cha
Pakshinam
Pakshinam
Prahaladas Chasmi Daityanam
Prasadascha
Kalah Kalayantam Aham
Kalayantam Aham
Mruganam Cha Mrugendroham
Mruganam
Vainte Akshasya Pakshinam.
Vainate
Among the Daityas, demon, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am the time. And among the beasts, I am the lion. And among the birds, I am Garuda. So very important point here comes is, among the subduers, I am the time. So let's see two things here. So before that, the Diti and Aditi are the two sisters, and they got married to Kashyapa Muni. And what happens then? The son of Aditi are called Adityas, and the son of Diti are called Daityas. So if you see all the devatas, they actually they come from mother deity Aditi, and all the what do you say, the demons, they come from Diti or Daityas. So same father, two wife, and one lineage is demons and one lineage is gods, right? So all the Adityas are the devotee of the Lord, and all the Daityas are the atheistic. And although Prahlad was born in the family of Daityas, Hiranyakashipu, he was a great devotee from the childhood. Because of his devotional service and godly nature, he is considered to be a representative of Krishna. So though even in the lineage of the demons, we see the devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, right? So that is the representative of Krishna. And yeah, again, Prabhupada mentions here, there are many subduing principles, but time wears down all things in the material universe, and so represent Krishna. Krishna always says, Aham Kalashmi. So Krishna is the time, Krishna is the Kala. And very interesting point comes here is actually, if we try to give time to Krishna, then Krishna is going to manage our time. Isn't it? Isn't it interesting? So sometimes we say, okay, we don't have time to read Bhagavad Gita, we don't have time to chant holy name, we are so much engaged with our swadharma, that's the duties of our body. We are in today chapter 2 over there, right? The duty of the bodies, and we say we don't have time, but but actually, if you see the real point is, if we devote our time to Krishna, Krishna going to try to manage. Krishna going to manage our time, because Krishna is time. He knows very well that how the devotee is managing his time. And very, very important is that whatever we do, the time, the Bhagavatam explains about as sun rises and sunsets, our one day is been taken away. Right? One day is gone. We do not know, but it happening. Right? the rising of the sun and setting of the sun, it takes one day. However, the same verse explains that if there's a devotee of the Lord, it actually doesn't impact. What does that mean? Does it mean that devotee doesn't die? No, the devotees, they die as well. But the point here is that Krishna takes care of them. Krishna understood very well that the devotee, and he places him in his nice position where he wants it to be, in Vaikuntha Dham or in Golok Vrindavan or as in devotee's family or wherever it is. So Krishna manages that. And if you are not devoted toward that, it's the Kala or Yamaraj going to take care of this. Right. That's why it's very, very important to understand Krishna is the Kala. Right. And of the many animals, the lion is the most powerful and ferocious, and the millions of varieties of birds, Garuda is the bearer of Lord Vishnu and is the greatest. Right. Let's see, text 31. Pavanaha,
Pavana,
Pavatam,
Pavatam,
Asmi,
Asmi,
Ramaha,
Ram,
Astra,
Dastra,
Tam,
Rutam,
Aham,
Aham,
Kshananam,
Jashanam,
Shashanam,
Jashanam,
Makaras,
Makara,
Kashmi,
Asmi,
Rotasam,
Rotasam,
Asmi,
Asmi,
Jahnavi,
Janu,
Pavanaha, Pavatam
Pavana,
Pavanatasmi.
Ramaha, Sastra, Bhratam Aham,
Rama,
Sastrapritam.
Jashanam, Makaraschasmi,
Jashanam,
Makarastasmi.
Srotasam Asmi Jahnavi.
Srotasam Asmi Jahnavi.
Of purifiers I am the wind, and of the winders of the weapon I am Rama. Of fishes I am the shark, and of the flowing rivers I am the Ganges. So that again clarifies about the category, and Krishna is actually one of the superior to that. And of the aquatic, the shark is the one of the biggest and is certainly the most dangerous of the man. Thus, shark represented Krishna. Right. And the river Ganges. So Krishna represents the river Ganges. River Ganges, we know the story of how river Ganges came into this material world, right? By the tapasya of Bhagirathi. Bhagirathi, he wanted to do for his ancestor, and it was only can be done by Mother Ganges. And he prayed a lot, worshipped, and then Mother Ganges, he said that I can come, but the only problem is that when I come, the whole earth will be devastated because by my force, and I might go back to the hellish planets. Who is going to hold it? And then Bhagirathi, he worshipped Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva got pleased, and then he agreed to hold the force of Mother Ganges in his head. So that's why we see Mother Ganges coming out from the head of Lord Shiva. Right, and it is the greatest. And so that that by bathing in these holy rivers, we get purified. Also in Bhagavatam, one section is being explained that when we take in the bathing in the holy rivers, right, what happens? We get purified. Definitely our sins get purified. However, there is one thing remains there. The intention or our desire to do sinful activity, it doesn't get approved. So when we take bathing in the holy rivers, our sins get purified, but our desire to do sin, that doesn't get purified. And when we take center of Krishna, when we do Krishna bhakti, when we do chant holy name of Krishna in Krishna consciousness, what happens? Krishna, he approves the desire, as well as the same time he finishes our sin as well. Krishna says in chapter 18, Aham Tom Sarva Papebhyo Mokshashami Masucha. Oh Arjuna, don't worry at all. I will take care of all the sins, not the sins only of this life, also from all past lives, many millions, billions, trillions of life, all sins will be washed away by taking shelter of Krishna, isn't it? So Ganga is the mother Ganga. Is by taking bathing in that, our sins get purified. But the desire to perform sin, it doesn't. Even many people think, okay, let's go take shower in the Ganges, bathing in the Ganga river, and then they come out and they start doing the sin again. My Prabhupada explained this as this is like elephant bathing. So elephant bathing is what? Or the elephant enters in the lake to take from his trunk his showers, and right. And as soon as they come out from after bathing, he again takes soil from his tongue and throw in his bag. So again he's got impurities, right? He got soiled again. So that's how human beings are. Like when we go to the holy Dhamma, we get purified. Again, when we come back, we start engaging ourselves in sinful activities. And it goes on and goes on. But taking Krishna consciousness, the desire to do sinful activities get uprooted from our heart gradually and gradually. It is taken care by Krishna. In Bhagavatam, this verse comes, Udnoti Samalam Krishna. So Krishna, by taking Krishna's name, Krishna's holy name, by reading Bhagavad Gita and practicing Krishna consciousness, Krishna enters in the heart of the devotee, and he mercifully becomes a sweeper and cleanses our heart. Can you imagine it? And so basically the point is why Krishna cleanses our heart. The ultimate point is that we want Krishna to come in our heart. And let's, for example, if someone comes to your home, what you will do? You will actually definitely will clean your, the sofa or wherever it is. You'll put some nice things over there so that he can sit nicely, right? The place will not be any dirty or impurities over there. In a similar way, our heart is dirty, still dirty, because we are in material world. So Krishna comes there and he purifies it. He cleans himself to make the seat for our own self. And gradually the process happens and Krishna sit in our heart. That's how it's a process of gradually, but as Krishna says, Ye tama prapadante tam tathasya bhajamam. As we dedicate it towards Krishna consciousness, Krishna reciprocates in that way. Right. So cleaning process is done himself by Krishna to the devotees of the heart. So our kalmasa will actually be purified when we chant the holy name of the Lord and regularly recite and read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, in association of the devotees, go to pilgrimage. And I just remember, I turned and I saw Lord Damodar here, and this is a very, 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 very good opportunity to start this Kartik month. This Kartik month is called as the wholesale, right, to get a spiritual benefit. It's not about, it's about getting lottery, right? Just offering a lamb to Lord Damodar every single day and just paying obeisances, just worshipping Tulsi, just offering nice bhoga to Lord. Just a small thing. It actually takes our step higher towards devotional service, right? So I'm thinking to chant this Damodar Ashtakam maybe by 8:45. Let's see how it goes. Till where do we reach today? Yeah. So text 32. Sarganam
Sarganam
Adir
Adi
Antascha
Antascha
Madhyanam
Madhyanam
Jaivaham
Saivam
Arjuna
Arjuna
Adhyatma
Adhyatma
Vidya
Vidya
Vidyanam
Vidyanam
Vadah
Vadaha
Pravadatam
Pravadatam
Aham
Aham
Sarganam Adir Anantascha
Sarganam Adi Anantasya
Madhyam Chaivaham Arjuna
Madhyam Sevaham Arjuna
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam
Vadaha Pravartatam Aham.
Vadaha Pravadatam Aham.
Of the creations, I am the beginning and the end, also the middle. O Arjuna, of all science, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Isn't it a great thing? So Krishna says, I am the beginning, I am the end, and I am also the middle. So I just remember got one verse. It says, Vedescha Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharata Tatha Adau Anta Cha Madhye Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. So from this point, I just recall one verse where he says that Krishna is saying, I am all of all creations, I am the beginning and I am the end. So we know that all the universe is created by Brahma, this material universe, right, is actually being created by Krishna. But secondary creation done by Lord Brahma. And at the end of the life of Brahma, it enters into Vishnu, isn't it? So it's coming from Vishnu and ending in the Vishnu itself. So that's why Krishna said, I am the beginning and I am the end, and also middle. What the meaning of middle? The middle means Krishna maintains this. So what's happening currently is actually being maintained by Krishna itself. Like we take birth, isn't it? We take birth, then we die. But in that time, we remain for 50, 60, 70, 80 years. That's maintenance part. So who is doing that? That's also being done by Krishna himself. So Krishna is the starting, Krishna is the end, Krishna is the middle as well. That's how that verse comes. Like in the Vedas, in the Puranas, in the Mahabharatas, in the Ramayana, Adau Antya Madhyecha, in the starting, in the end, and in the middle, what's happened? Hari Sarvatra Giyate. So all the scriptures are actually talking only, or describing only, glorifying only about Hari or Krishna, right? So even all the Shastras is there just for the glorification of Krishna, right? So that's how Krishna is actually the starting, the end, and the middle. And he says, O Arjuna, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science. The Prabhupada has one book called as the Science of Self-Realization. That is spiritual science, to understand the self. So understanding ourself is a science. And if you see, even all the scientists, they are trying to find out, who am I? How did I came here? We see Big Bang theory, but Big Bang theory has been also being, denied by many scientists as well, right? So scientists find something, and then again they say, no, it's not nothing. It's not the end. We need to find some more. So science is discovering, but our Bhagavatam explains everything. I was hearing a lecture, I think, a couple of weeks back, and in that lecture it was explained that my Guru Maharaj was saying that when one of the devotee, he read Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, and all the description of how a child birth takes place, what happens in what happens in the beginning, what happens in the middle, and how what happens after all the 8 months, 9 months, 3 months, 4 months, everything it clearly described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And he says he was a doctor. Maharaj was saying that he was a doctor, but when he read Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, oh my goodness, everything is there in this Bhagavatam, and which we are trying to do, understand things from different perspectives, isn't it? That's how glorious our Vedas is, right? So that is why it is a spiritual science, right? And Krishna gives the science of death in chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, how to die, right? And how to die and get spiritual world, right? So this is basically a science to understand, who am I? It's not very easy. Prabhupada says, by intellectual, we won't be able to understand Krishna. By having opulent, we won't be able to understand Krishna. Having many opulence of this material world doesn't make any qualification to understand Krishna. The only qualification is bhakti, taking shelter of his spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, practicing how he suggests, reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, we will be able to understand the spiritual science of the self. And that's basically I means Krishna. We need to understand Krishna. So through spiritual science, we need to understand Krishna. And among all logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Every conclusion has to be end in Krishna, right? So that's how it is. And Prabhupada says here, among the created manifestation, the first is the creation of total material elements. As explained before, the cosmic manifestation is created and conducted by Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and then Shodakashai Vishnu, and then again is enacted by Lord Shiva, and then Brahma is the secondary creator. That's all what we discussed now, right? So everything again comes from Krishna and then goes back to Krishna. Okay. Yeah, this is nice paragraph Prabhupada says here that among logicians, there are different kinds of argument. Supporting one's argument with evidence that also support the opposing side is called jalpa. Merely trying to defeat one's opponent is called Vedanta, Vitanda. But the actual conclusive is called Veda, or sorry, Vada. This conclusive truth is representation of Krishna. So the point is, when we talk about logic, what happens if I'm a good logician, if my intelligence is very good, I can defeat anyone, right? And if suppose I give some logic, and if someone comes in front of me and he is more intelligent than me, he has some more nice logical things to put on, I get defeated. So this intellectual discussion may get here and there. I can be winner of in one part, but I can be defeated in something else. But actually, if you see, if you go higher and higher, the real truth is Krishna, and that cannot be defeated by anything. That's our Shastra says very clearly as well. Okay. Text 33. Aksharanam akaro
Akaro
Asmi
द्वंद्व
Dvanda
समासिकस्य
Samasikasya
Katsya
च
Cha
अहम
Aham
Aham
एवाक्षः
Evaksha
Evaksha
कालो
Kalo
Kalu
धाताहम
Dataham
Dataham
विश्वतो
Vishwato
Vishwato
मुखः
Mukaha
Kaha
अक्षराणाम अकरो अस्मि
Akshar
Aksharanam
Karo
Akaro Asmi
द्वंद्व समासिकस्य च
Dvanda
Dvanda Samasikshasya
अहम एवाक्षः कालो
Aham
Ahamev
Evakshaya Kalu
धाताहम विश्वतो मुखः
Da
Dataham Vishato Mukaha.
Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of the creators, I am Lord Brahma. Right. So that's again clearly says the Akara, the first letter of Sanskrit alphabet, is the beginning of the Vedic literature. And without Akara, nothing can be sounded. Isn't it? Without this Akara, we cannot sound anything. So everything, when we say Ka, it's not Ka. It's actually Ka plus A. That's how it comes Ka. Ka is Ka plus A. So without A, we cannot pronounce anything, isn't it? I was in one Sanskrit class and it is explained over there. So it's well noted. Like without A, we cannot sound anything, and therefore it is the beginning of the sound. In Sanskrit, there are also many compound words, of which the dual word like Rama Krishna is called Dvanda. Anyway, that's goes more of that. Right. And of all the killers, the time is the ultimate because time kills everything. Even even the opulence we have, that also passes through time. Sometimes we can see someone become poor. It might not be the same life. The poor person is not always poor. The same poor person can take a birth again and become a rich, right? So again we discuss the same thing, like Krishna is the representation of time, and among the living entities, Lord Brahma, who is a creator, who has a forehead, is a chief, and therefore he is representative or of Supreme Lord Krishna. Okay, I think we'll stop here and we'll continue from text 34 till text 42 in our next week, where again Krishna is going to explain some more opulences of him. And at the end, he says these are all just very merely a splendor of it, a spark from the splendor. Right? And what we will do now is we'll try to sing Damodarashtakam as a part of Kartik month for the whole 4 week on all over Wednesdays. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop maybe the YouTube one.